Hi everyone. Today we are going to discuss the topic is many-to-many relationship. In part 1, we already discussed about master data relationship and lookup relationship. And now we are going to discuss the topic is many-to-many relationship. To provide the many-to-many relationship, you don't have any specific type to provide many-to-many relationship between two objects. Okay? Because it's a concept, not like with the specific data type you can achieve this. So how can you achieve? By using junction object, you can achieve this many-to-many relationship. What can you do or what you can achieve when you provide the many-to-many relationship between the objects? It allows each record of one object to be linked to multiple records from another object and vice versa. Okay, for example, see here, a flight can have multiple passengers. A flight can have multiple passengers, and a passenger can travel in different flights in different times. That means I am expecting all passengers information under flight, whoever traveled in that particular flight, and on that passenger, if I go to the passenger, I'm expecting flights information, okay, in which flights he traveled in different times. Okay, if I have to provide such kind of relation, such kind of information, so I can't create lookup on flight to the passenger. If I create, yes, I can create, but if you create, you can't get this information, because by lookup you can get only one passenger. If you create lookup relationship or master detail on passenger to flight, you can select only one flight. But your scenario is different. You want to have information. A flight can have multiple passengers. That means a flight should have multiple passengers information. A passengers can travel in different flights in different times. But under passenger, if I go to the passenger, I should be able to see the flight information in which flights he traveled in different times. This is what I want. Okay, so how can we do? Through junction object we can do this. So let's see practically how we are going to create a junction object. Again, I'm telling you, junction object is nothing but an object, okay, which will be in between two different objects with master detailed relationships. Let's see. Now I'm going to create flight first of all. So I'm selecting tab. Relationships application. Tab. Now I'm creating one more field. Just flight number. Next. Save. I have created a flight object and created tab also. Now I'm going to create passenger. Passenger and so let's see. I'm selecting a tab style here. You know all these things. So I'm including this tab in our application, relationships application. Save. I'm going to add just one more field, date of travel or travel date. Enough. Now let's see how it looks like. So flights and passengers. This is the flight's information. Passengers. Okay. And if I see here, there is no any relationship between passenger and flight. You don't see any master detail or lookup field here. And the same way on flight also, you don't have any relationship with the passenger. Now I'm going to create an object and I'm going to create master details to this flight and passengers on that object. Then we are going to connect both together indirectly and you can see such kind of information, many to many relationship, how it will be, how it looks like. Let's see. I'm going to create flight passenger. Now, so basically when it is a junction object, it's better to use auto number as a name field. Okay, auto number for name field, because for junction object in real time you are not going to create a tab. Now say flight passenger so now I don't need. So first thing is here, no, it is not correct to create tab for this flight passenger. Okay, now I'm going to create a field. Okay, I just canceled the tab creation. Now I'm going to create a fields in flight passenger. Right now it is just a custom object. There is no any relationship to flight or passenger on this object. Now I'm going to create master detail relationship field. One master detail relationship to flight and another master detail relationship to passenger. Then it becomes a junction object between flight and passenger. Now it is ready to hold multiple records, multiple relations here. Many to many relationship. You can see that practically now. So let's see master detail relationship and relate to flight so here as it is a flight I'm just renaming this related list label to passengers. Okay, I'm creating flight master data relationship field related to flight, and related list label under this flight should be passengers. Okay, you can give any name, but here passengers is the reasonable name. Okay, because you want to see passengers under flight. Now another another master detail relationship field is to passenger. Where is passenger? Yes, here I just need flights simply. Now let's see, I just renamed related list labels also. How it works, how it will be. Let's see practically now. Now I'm going to create flight information. So before I'm going to create, I'll do page layout changes also. On flight, now I'm going to get the related list that flight passenger. Edit. So if you go to related list, so you can see the flight passengers. It's a passengers because I renamed it to passengers, but it is flight passenger. You can see this flight passenger. Now I need more columns here. So here I need passenger name and travel date under flight. See, I got this right. So as part of flight passenger, I have both details. Under flight passenger, I have flight information and passenger information. Now I am changing the page layout on flight information. What I need from this object, I need passenger name and travel date, which is related to this flight passenger object. See, in the same way, I am going to passenger layout. Layout, edit. So under passenger also you can see that junction object. So go to related list. It's a flight passenger. So I just rename it to flights here. What I need under the passenger, I just need flight information, right? So go to this. So from the same junction object, you can have flight name and flight number columns. I just added. I'm just formatting them. Now done. Now let's go to flights. I am creating flight information Air India Jet Airways and Indigo. Okay, just like that. Now I have created flight information. Okay, if I go to here, no passengers for now, and I have 3 flights information here. And if you want, you can add columns. So flight number, just I have 3 flights here. Now I'm going to add passengers travel date is done. So basically travel date should be on junction object anyway. So here don't consider travel date, just consider passenger. Okay. Now here I'm going to relate these things to different flights here. How we can do? If I go to passengers, Kumar, okay, no flight information for now. So I am going to create junction object now. I'm going to create junction object record to relate flight. Indigo. Okay. So before we are going to do, let's move this travel date to junction object. It's not correct to have this travel date on passenger. Passenger. I'm just removing the travel date here. Okay. I'm going to add this travel date because it doesn't make sense to have travel date on passenger. This information should be on junction object. There you can see when he traveled, in which flights he traveled. Flight passenger. Now travel date save. Same way on passenger layout also, I'm going to add this travel date for flight passenger. On flight also, I'll add this column for the related list flight passenger. I'm just editing the layout here. Related list. I'm going to add travel date column here. Okay. Now let's see. I have passengers. Okay. So let's remove this please. Now I'm giving Worksheet date field, no access. Yes. So let's remove that field from the layout also, because we have deleted, but it is not deleted from layout. Ideally it should delete. It's already deleted. Yes, done. So let's create one more. So we have done this. Why it is not removing? Let's see once. So we don't need to do anything else here. Let's go back. Let's log out this. Relationship. Yes. Okay. So it took some time to reflect this. Okay, we just deleted the record. Not record, date field. Now let's create two more passengers. Okay. Here I'm going to relate this to flight record through a junction object, that is flight passenger. Click on new here, and here Indigo and travel date is 26. Again I'm adding Jet Airways, travel date is 25th. I'm not doing anything else. I'm just creating the junction object record by relating both passenger and flight, because this junction object, that is flight passenger, is already related to flight and passenger. That's why I'm able to relate. If you see here, now under Karunya, you have two flights, Indigo and Jet Airways, right? I'm going to add flight information under Srivalli also. Let's add Indigo 26. Srivalli passenger flight is Indigo. She traveled in Indigo. Okay, and Jet Airways, Air India. Done. Now I have created the information, okay, for Srivalli where she traveled, Indigo and Air India, and Karunya, she traveled in Indigo and Jet Airways. Right? Let's go to this. Indigo, Jet Airways, and Air India. So if you go to the related list, you can see Karunya and Srivalli. And if you go to Jet Airways, you can see only Karunya travel date. And if you go to Air India, you can see this. So that means if you observe here, I can see multiple passengers under a flight. I can see multiple flight information under passenger. Okay, that means a flight can have multiple passengers. Passengers can have multiple flights they traveled. Okay, so we achieved this through junction object, that is flight passenger. What is junction object here? Junction object is nothing but a custom object which has two master detail relationship fields with two different objects. Then it becomes a junction object between those two objects. Here in our use case, flight and passengers are the two masters for the flight passenger object. Flight passenger object is the junction object between flight and passengers. Because of that, you are able to relate to multiple passengers from flight. Okay, and you are able to relate multiple flights from passengers. Okay, this is how you can achieve many to many relationship between two objects, two different objects. Good, all the best. You can go through this links here, you can have information.